Hey everybody, today we're talking about the components of groove, specifically for guitar. What makes a part groove or not? And I think I've whittled it down to some fundamentals. We're going to dissect a groove and put it all back together again. There's a download for you too. You're going to dig it. Stay tuned. Hey everybody, Terrio back at you. Thanks for tuning in again today. If you're a first timer, welcome to the channel. All right, we're talking about groove, the components of groove. That little intro was something I came up with for the lesson. Yeah, it probably sounds like a million songs. It's just a 2-chord vamp. I'm going to break it all down for you. We're going to go through the components one by one, put them back together again, and by the end of this video, you're going to have it down. You're going to be a grooving machine. There's a download available if you want it for free. Go to the link below. There's the drum groove with the bass part on it, and it's absolutely free. Just put in a valid email address and you'll get it for free. No strings attached. No pun intended. All right, here we go. So that's we're in the key of G, and this is sort of reminiscent of a staple singer kind of thing, pop staple. I don't know. It's 2 chords. Like they say, 2 chords in the truth, country music. Not quite. 3 chords. So all we need is 2. G to A minor 7. That's all we're working with today. So in the key of G, that's a 1 to a 2 minor. That's what that's called. 1 to a 2 minor. So what I did in the intro, to break it into the components, I didn't want to do a clickbait title. I am actually going to talk about this stuff. First component I consider of a groove, an essential rhythm part, is 1, a strong backbeat. Now, in my types of music, and if you're watching this, probably your types too, that would mean 2 and 4, all right? Or maybe a variation of, but I did just a straight old ignorant 2 and 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. That, 2 and 4, that's one of the components. That's the building block. Now, I hate to use the overused analogy of baking a cake while you're teaching music, but it does work. So for baking a cake, the first layer you want to have is a strong foundation, or building a house, whatever. But that is, backbeat, 2 and 4. So what I did on the intros, and notice I'm using the G to the A, and I'm using an upstroke. Now I call that a Chank. Now I didn't make that up. I don't know. People call it different things. If you have my rhythm course, my new rhythm guitar course, hint, hint, click below, called Deep Pockets, I talk about the Chank a lot. I devote a lot of time to it because there's a lot of variations of a Chank. There's all kinds of... all those things are kind of Chank. But a basic 2 and 4 with a backbeat is a very strong foundation. So let's get back. That's what I did. And then what I did was I introduced number 2. This is another component of things I like to use when I'm coming up with rhythm parts. Oh, just to backstep a little bit. That Chank, that 2 and 4, think of it as a drummer. It's a good way to think and get into the head of playing better rhythm guitar. Visualize yourself as a drummer. Hi-hat, there's your mute notes. The Chank, the 2 and 4 is your snare drum. kick drum is coming up. That's kind of part of the bass note. So what I did in the next part, so this is a bass line that I hear in my head that would be played by the bass player. So with the guitar doubling it, called a unison line. Now, unison line is a very strong component, and the music I like, and you like too if you're watching this, Meters, you know, Motown stuff. A lot of great classic soul, R&B used unison lines to great effect. You might know... people say Meters, that's a unison line. That's an all-star unison line, man. That one wins the awards. But that's what I'm doing. This is what I'm doing. Now, it's a little tricky. It's a little deceptive. I'm playing this out of a G major pentatonic. All right, so just to isolate the bass part, then we're going to put them together. So the bass part is this, 1 and 2. So G, 3rd fret, 6th string, and then I play the D, 5th fret, 5th string, slide up. And then I'm outlining that minor 7 chord, okay? But the second time around, I do something a little tricky. Maybe you caught it. Half step. 6th fret to the 7th fret this time. It just gives it a little twist. You don't really notice it unless I don't do it. And it makes it from just being the same thing over and over again. So if we put the Chank with the bass part, we get this. Forgot to mention that. That was a little chord I did instead of the 2 chord. It is a 2 chord, but I added the 9 on top. A minor 9. So. There's another component. Before I get to that, let me go back. There's a couple of missing things in there. If I played just the Chank with the bass part by itself, straight, you know, in time, right notes, it would be this. Which is fine, but listen how much more it grooves and swings when I put these little ghost notes, these little percolators in there, I like to call them. Now what I'm doing is I'm kind of lifting off my left hand. Those little are in there. And when you lift your left hand off, but you still shape the chord, you're still getting some of the harmonic content of the chord in there. Even though you're not fretting it. Just enough. It's kind of like adding seasoning, all right? That's what it is. Some people like to use football analogies. I usually use cooking analogies. They work. So that's another component. That's the filler, you know, adding that grease to it. It makes it percolate, gives it some feel. And then another component to make an apart groove are fills. If you watched my Steve Cropper lesson last week, it's straight out of that. Sixths. It's hard to say that. So what I'm doing is I'm G. That's a ring finger and pinky I'm using. The fingering is important on this. D and B. 7th fret, 3rd string, 7th fret, 1st string. And you slide up. And then you go to the 5th fret. It's a quick triplet. Check it out with the groove, and you can have this groove and play along with it at home to your heart's content. 2, 3, 4. 2 and 4, Chank. Bass line. I got off count. We let it roll by again. Once you get it, it's fun to play. And you can just kind of start playing around. You know, I'm not going to lose, I'm trying to not lose my internal clock. It's hard to play and talk and make up fills, but I don't lose one. Whatever. Man, that's pretty fun to solo over, actually. I have to use that for something else. But so remember the 4 components. Now, there's others. I'm not an expert, a scholar. Those are ones I whittle down. 2 and 4 backbeat, the Chank, the bass line, the Unison part we did. All right, and then we put those together. And then the glue, the little percolations in between the ghost notes to give it the feel. And then the fills, that gives it like a call response, question answer. It gives it some symmetry to the arrangement because it is kind of an arrangement. And it keeps it from being the same over and over again. Hey, I hope you got something out of that. If you like my teaching style, you dig this, you might like, you probably will like, you definitely will like my course, Deep Pockets. Check it out below. There's a link. And if not, cool. Give me a like, subscribe. Help me continue building the channel. It's super, super important to me. It's really motivating when I see it grow. And I know it's not a big deal for you guys to hit that, but it really is a big deal to me. So thank you. I'll see you soon. Stay funky, Shane Terrio. Out.